Before I continue with this review, I'd like to thank EA for sending me a review code on the Xbox Series X. Battlefield 2042 is a game that I desperately want to love, but it keeps throwing things at me that makes me question if the abuse is worth it at this time. But as a long-time Battlefield player, I have faith that DICE will also turn the ship around and make it the best possible military shooter on the market. The official description reads, quote, "Battlefield 2042 is a first-person shooter that marks the return to the iconic all-out warfare of the franchise. In a near-future world transformed by disorder, adapt and overcome dynamically changing battlegrounds with the help of your squad and a cutting-edge arsenal. With support of 128 players on current-gen consoles, Battlefield 2042 brings unprecedented scale on vast battlegrounds. Players will take on several experiences comprising elevated versions of Conquest and Breakthrough, Battlefield Portal, a new community-driven platform where players can create, share, and discover unexpected battles from Battlefield's iconic past, present, and future, and Battlefield Hazard Zone, a tense, squad-focused survival experience where every bullet, every skirmish, and every decision counts." End quote. Now before I continue, I would like to thank Janrik for conducting this review on Xbox Series X. Battlefield 2042 launched without a single player campaign this year, and I feel it might have been a mistake. With the new consoles now on the market and all the advances in PC hardware, it could have been the crisis of this generation. So with no single player focus, the entire game revolves around multiplayer, and sadly they managed to make a bit of a mess of it. Barring the usual server issues that goes with any multiplayer game launched these days, there are also a few odd design choices. But before we go into what needs work, let's first cover what makes this potentially the best game DICE can produce. Multiplayer comes in three branches. Large-scale warfare that features the now classic Conquest, 128 players on PC and current-gen consoles, while 64 players on last-generation consoles, and Breakthrough from Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. Hazard Zone that allows squads to compete for resources versus enemy AI and other human squads, and last but not least Portal, where you can handcraft or join other more seasoned players, Battlefield experiences that pulls resources, modes and equipment from previous Battlefield games. This in my mind is going to be the deciding factor for this game, and if DICE rolls back some changes they made to this, like not allowing players to earn XP or progress, they will have a huge hit on their hands. But before we get into that, let's look at the first two options. Conquest is now bigger than ever, and potentially this is now too big, especially as a console player trying to survive in a helicopter and jet-dominated map that is seemingly ruled by PC players. Spawn, die, repeat is the rhythm for 90% of the matches I played thus far. There are the brief moments of brilliance when it all just works, but so far it has been an exercise in frustration. DICE also have seemed to roll back on the idea of bot-filling less populated modes, instead putting you into endless lobbies waiting for other players to join. This means that after more than a week with the game, I've yet to play a single breakthrough game mode, and if I disable crossplay with PC, I simply do not get into any lobbies. This is something they need to address as soon as possible. Or they need to allow console versus console play only. Leave the PC players to sweat amongst themselves. The other issue is weapon balance. Some weapons are so much better than the rest, it makes no sense not to play with them, but since they are locked behind higher levels, you need to go through days of frustration before being allowed to play with them. Aim assists on consoles are also pretty broken right now, but DICE did state that it should be fixed in upcoming patches. So with all of the ugly out of the way, let's discuss the Portal. It is simply put, excellent. However, they need to allow players to unlock experience and upgrades in this mode, or it will also eventually fade away. Jumping into an infantry-only playlist that allows one to play one map and weapons, setup, etc. from Battlefield Bad Company 2, then going into Battlefield 1942, etc. is superb fun. This is the Battlefield we all love, and this is where they need to ensure they retain players. I am hopeful that Battlefield will eventually come around, but in the shadow of Halo Infinite that had a stellar launch and even Call of Duty Vanguard running very smoothly, if with less funware, it has a long road to go. If I had to put a score on this, then I'd easily give it a 6.5 out of 10. Again, I'd like to thank EA for providing me with review code and for Janrik for providing me with this review on the Xbox Series X. For more gaming content, check out the rest of my channel, and if you enjoyed this video then give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it then give me a thumbs down, but please tell me why so I can improve my videos. My name is Frank, I'm the RedTieGuy, and frankly, thank you for watching. Catch you guys in the next video.